So what do you do if your ads aren't converting? Here are 5 easy fixes that you can try right away to try and get the performance back on track. So number one, consolidate the ad account. So you reduce the number of ad sets, reduce the volume of assets, help you get over the learning phase faster. Number two, use CBO, mainly because of the breakdown effect, and then let the Facebook algorithm do its job, and you don't have to worry about, managing budgets between multiple ad sets, turning things on and off. Just makes it a lot easier. Number three, test more creative and not more audiences. Because if performance isn't working, constantly testing newer and smaller audiences like isn't really gonna move the needle too much. But if you find like a really good piece of creative, that's probably gonna have a bigger effect on the ad account than finding a new audience. Number four, test new landing pages. So yeah, I think a lot of times we focus just on what's in the Facebook ad account, but also like, if you're seeing a ton of traffic coming to the site, but the conversion rate is down, should probably try testing like a new landing page, creating like a collection of bestsellers, a curated page, or, something more descriptive of the hero product that's in your actual ad. And then number five, again, using more of Facebook's machine learning. If you have a large enough catalog, like it doesn't have to be massive, but even if it's like over at least like 30 or 40 SKUs, I think would be good. Is to use dynamic ads for broad audiences, DABA, or also just known as like product catalog ads. But the main difference is it's for broad audiences prospecting, like top of funnel, and not for retargeting. So let's get into a bit of detail on each of the 5 fixes. Okay, so number one, consolidate the ad account. So you can stack the lookalikes together instead of, spreading them out by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%. And like purchase, non-purchase, emails, all that stuff. You may as well just stack any winning ones you find in one ad set. You can go super broad, merge all retargeting into one ad set. So essentially, you're spreading the budget less across multiple ad sets, and then you're giving a higher chance to get past the 50 conversions per individual ad set. So the goal of this is to reduce the volume of ad sets because remember, it's 50 conversions at the ad set level and not the campaign level. So this is the advantage of reducing the volume of ad sets, that you can get over the learning phase faster. We'll talk about the learning phase next, but so yeah, make creative changes in bulk. You can keep a separate campaign for creative testing if you have to always add in new assets to test. This is more of an advanced strategy. If you have bigger budgets, more than 1,000, 2,000 a day, you could use cost caps and bit caps, but that's for another count. So for the learning phase, I keep forgetting, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just wanted to give an example here for this ad account that I was working on. Last 7 days spent about 30K. Only 1% of the ad account is in learning phase. So that's amazing. Like, it's hard to kind of reach that state all the time. You see that 12 active campaigns, but that's because there's 2 countries. It's 2 domains, a .com and a .ca for Canada, and 2 currencies. So actually, it would only be 6 active campaigns if it was just 1 currency. So it's still pretty consolidated, right? Like only 6 active campaigns per country. But you can see the results when there's only 1% of the account in learning phase. That, a huge volume of transactions, almost a 3x return on ad spend, low CPA, good AOV, as well as like a good click-through rate of 1.8%. So it does help to kind of have the account out of learning. Like, obviously, this will be hard to do and keep in momentum because anytime you add a new ad or make any significant change, it's going to reset the learning phase at the ad set level. But even if you can keep it like below 20%, I found to find good stability and in the ad account. So yeah, what are the changes that will, cause the account to re-enter the learning phase? So this is from Facebook itself. For some of them, it's like dependent on the magnitude of change. So if you change the budget, I think it's more than 20%, or the bid amount, placement, bid strategy. This is at the ad set level. So if you obviously, if you change the targeting, the optimization event, add any new creative, I think this is what people probably do most often, is adding a new creative like every few days. So that's kind of always resetting the ad set and the learning phase. Yeah, any change to ads, they should really update this because, sometimes you have a typo or you like forget to add something to the ad, and then essentially you have to create a new one and then reset the learning phase. So this is just a good little screenshot from Facebook to remember that these edits can cause the ad and ad set to re-enter the learning phase. So number 3 or number 2, was using CBO and then the breakdown effect. I'll put a link in the video. I've explained like what the breakdown effect is, and this is actually from a Facebook video itself where they're explaining what the breakdown effect is. So if you just look closely, like essentially here on the left hand side, it's like, I think in this example, it's like a cost per video view on the left. So if you look at, ad set 2, which is the yellow line, like it has the lower cost per video view under a dollar or something. And ad set 1 has a higher cost per video view. So essentially what, we would do as media buyers is like maybe on day 3 or day 4 here, we'd obviously look at this, like ad set 1, the red line has like a higher cost per video view. So we'd pause it and then let ad set 2, the yellow line, which has a lower cost per view, keep running. But I guess what's important here is the past. We're always looking at lagging indicators of the past and looking at past performance to predict the future outcome, but that's not always the case. So we'll probably pause, the red line and then let ad set 2 run. But you can see over time, ad set 2 is going to have much higher incremental costs, and the costs are going to keep rising compared to ad set 1. So if you just let it be and not intervened and let Facebook's CBO model do its thing for at least 7 to 10 days, like you could have probably seen that, even though it started off at a higher cost, ad set 1, over time, each incremental conversion was at a lower cost. So ad set 1 performed better. But I'll drop the link for the video where Facebook explains it. It might be easier for you to follow. And then, number 3, test more creative, not audiences. People get so hung up on testing multiple audiences, literally every single interest group on Facebook that's available, all the lookalikes you can think of from 1% up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. It's just crazy. You don't need to test so many different audiences. There's a ton of overlap now between all these interests, especially post ATT, Apple's iOS changes, where, you're losing all that data in terms of Facebook doesn't know who to target. So there's a lot of overlap. Lookalikes aren't as strong anymore. There's even overlap between, your top of funnel and the retargeting. So the biggest lever you can pull for an account that's struggling is to find winning ad creative and focus on that first, and once you have that kind of dialed in, then you can try to squeeze out some more efficiency with the audiences. Number 4, test new landing pages. So, a lot of times you'd see most of the ad accounts, a lot of ads just going directly to the product page, which is great. But, if that isn't working, you should kind of create a dedicated landing page or at least a collection page that's curated with the products that you're selling, and put a bit more information on the page, right? Like this is someone who's never heard of your brand. You have to sell more on the page. I don't know why people just don't feel like selling that much because, it's not on brand, but you can find a way to kind of balance it, right? Essentially, you're just trying to get someone to care about your brand. Like why, why should they care if you're not giving them a reason to care essentially? So, you can have clear benefits, reviews, testimonials, UGC. So I put an example of an ad that I got served recently of Ridge Wallet. So it's like a men's wallet brand, pretty cool ad. And then essentially they were using like this article type of landing page that kind of lists like the 5 best reasons for why you should buy the Ridge Wallet. It was kind of catered towards Father's Day also, but if you look at it, it was just a simple ad that was talking about the product. But once I clicked on it, it took me to this page where it was 5 reasons why millions of men are switching to the Ridge Wallet. So I was like, oh, wow, there's like a lot of reviews, 50,000 plus 5-star reviews, a bunch of reasons why it would be good to buy, lifetime warranty, happy customers, risk-free trial. So, and like an easy CTA, right? If I didn't want to go through all this stuff, I can still click on the top and just go and buy the wallet right away. So pretty cool landing page. Like I'm sure it converts quite well for them. And then, now the last one is DABA, like dynamic ads for broad audiences. So I think people just forget about this. So like a lot of ad accounts, when I do audits, like I don't really see this campaign live, but it's really easy to set up. And in fact, if you don't have a ton of creative, this is great to set up because it just uses the product catalog as an ad. So it's like creating a dynamic product ad, but all you do is like choose this option, find prospective customers instead of retargeting. And then, you can obviously exclude whoever you want to make it clean. And then it doesn't look the best on stories because it's essentially made for the feed. So you can always edit the placements and just show these ads like in the feed placement. It works really well for if you have a large catalog, for over 30 to 40 products. And if you have over 100 products, it's amazing. You should definitely be using this. But that is it.